woke up this morning, the sky was gray. Another storm, another endless day. Thought I was drowning in the deep, but something in me refused to sleep. Every tear, every fear made me stronger, brought me here. I'm right.
L'équipe progressait prudemment à travers la jungle luxuriante. We lost someone. Someone left. Take care, Mar. Bye. All right. We're going to keep recording, so she will be able to look at the recording. C'était quoi ça? OK, it is something. L'équipe progressait. Soudain, un rugissement retentit au loin, faisant sursauter Mélie. C'était quoi ça? Probablement ce que les chauves dont nous avait parlé le vieux sage. Ils restèrent au guet, scrutant les aventures. Le silence était pesant. Nous ferions mieux de ne pas traîner dans le coin, déclara Léonard. So they keep going. Ils reprirent leur marche, jetant des regards nerveux autour d'eux. Soudain, Émilie trébucha avec un petit cri. Aurore se précipita à l'aider, se relever, tout va bien. Oui, j'ai juste glissé. Fais attention, tu mets les pieds. Émilie hocha la tête, l'air penaud. Léonard posa les mains rassurants. Je ne t'en fais pas, nous veillerons sur toutes nous autres. Réconforté, Émilie reprit sa marche. Théodore prendit son épée au guet. Montrez-vous, créature, ordonna-t-il d'une voix forte. Un petit singe émergea. A small monkey shows up out of the little wood. And his little cri aigu, puis détala à toute vitesse. Théophile éclata de rire soulagé. Ce n'était qu'un singe. Tu lui as fait sacrer la frousse, Théophile, l'amusa Maximilien. On ne sait jamais, il aurait pu surgir des créatures dangereuses. So, this far, with our little thing on top to do the snowflake method, it did go and then go all over the place. The story has a pretty good, it's a very nice flow, don't you think?
It's different.
It is different.
Like,
It has a
like
nice,
the guy, that old guy, is he like supposed to be like Obi-Wan because he kind of disappeared? Is he like a ghost? I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. We don't know yet. He's going to show times in the story, but he just show up on the boat like an apparition.
Yeah.
Now they're going to the adventure. Let's see what the last chapter was going to give us. So we have a start, a middle, and an end. And obviously after that, everyone can work the story. But it's just to give you an idea on how you can work a story and how you can use your imagination on directing that story. So instead of going to number 4, because l'histoire, they share the whole thing here. So here there's a part very interesting in chapter 23. So they come back with an elixir. So they find things on the island for sure, because there's an elixir. L'équipe d'explorateurs désormais unie par leur lutte, c'est leur victoire. So they find something very special, that elixir, which we probably will figure out after the old guy and all that. But let's see how that finished, just for the fun of saying these. Copy to have a story which from start to finish. So I'm going to put it up here. Get my little French magic sentence. Jen and Dion, you doing good?
Yeah, Manon, I actually was quite impressed by the output, given that you're using the snowflake method thing. I haven't tried that, so I'll have to see what that gives.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice way to go. I really, really like it. And that's what I do now. Before any of my story that I write, no matter which book I write, I ask ChatGPT which method is best. Even a children book that I'm writing, which is part of the Reno, that challenge that we have there. I'm writing a story for children. And when I ask, it give me, says, use the, I will get it back and I will show you what it is. I'm going to finish that and show you right after that. It's the block method. So that's something new to me, but that was kind of interesting. So let's see.
You mean methods in terms of like the story, for example, like story circle, hero's journey, you mean like that?
Yeah, but a different method for writing that story or that book in particular.
Oh, okay. And will Sudowrite, like, for example, you said the black method, that method, will Sudowrite understand? Of course,
Yes,
I mean, an AI. And where do you put that information? Do you put it in,
the beats.
oh, you put it in the beats on the, like a header?
Yeah, like what we did here. So I'm getting the beats to write. Like I said, always read my beats, make sure they mostly make sense, depending of how fast I have to do things. And I'm always
Mhm.
looking at the last one to make sure they are really beats and not headers. And as you can see,
Okay.
they're all good beats. It's not a header saying, I want the story to keep going in the manner like we did at the first one. I think it gave us a beat that we had to put. See that one?
Mm.
That was beat 12. But it's not a beat, it was a header. Veuillez à cette action et mouvement des personnages suivre une séquence logique. So that's not part of the story. Is the AI says, I want the story to make sense. But this was written as beat number 12. So I took number 12 and I put it up in my header. Make sense?
Makes sense, yes.
So here, that's the method I talk about. La méthode, the snowflake method, which is la méthode du flocon de neige. And my little sentence here in French, which you have to put on top of all your headers so that he knows that's the method he has to use to do the story. That's the, okay. In English, that's the snowflake method. Now, if I go into the other story that I told you that I'm writing, is it in this one here? The Heart Lush Forest. Yes, I think that's the one here that I'm working on. So this is the story that I'm working on the Rio Nairo, and they call it the Artful Journey Method, or using the building block method. And that one is basically a book for children. So the Heartful Journey, because it's a book on meditation to teach children to meditate, along with a story. And I want it to be built in a way that children can read it and make sense to them. So it has to have like short sentence for children. So if you go into my style here, so I ask for the story to be easy and fun with simple language and dialogue with short sentence. Show, don't tell. So it's a story for children with children instruction in my genre. And you give me a pretty good, interesting story about an elephant which learned the, what's the name of that meditation here? Oh, yeah, that's the one I did yesterday. It's a very long, so it's called, what's that name? This is Ellie Tranquil Art. It's the old elephant which teaching them the meditation in question. So you can tell that this is a different method to write that story. So if we go back to the one we did together. Oh, that's not the one. Where is it? In Mysterious. So here we have the snowflake method. You see the difference? So let's see if we can get, yes, Jane?
No, I say I like how you put the methods on the top of the I've never done that before. I'm definitely going to utilize that in my story.
I mean, Story Engine and Sudowrite supposed to help us to have easier time to do our story. And if we spend our time going through the everything and says, okay, why is it putting 3 times that they're fighting the creature? They meet it, they fight it, and then oops, there's the number 7. As they meet the creature, they saw that she has red eyes and fiery tail. It says, well, wait a sec, they just fight the creature, so why is telling me that again? Those are what these little input on top will make sure that it should not go that way. There's other way to do it. You can copy all your beats. You can go in your plugin and you can use the John, which you can ask to restructure your beats So basically the AI is going to look at the beats and it's going to say, oh, that makes no sense. They see the creature 3 times after they beat it, and then it's doing it again. It's doing it for you. It's going to restructure your beats, and then after that, if you want your beats to be a bit better and longer, you can go and use best these beats. It's going to make your beats very long. So for me, I like most of the time Sudowrite do a good job already, but if you give him these method and the way you want it to be written, he doesn't need all those restructuring. It's doing it by itself.
Awesome.
So this is what should be the last chapter of the end of the book. Voici la scène. Here he's doing again. So Léonard se tenait sur le pont du navire, so they already got the treasure at the end, obviously. His team, so they lost people because this is the rest of his team. They all like showing up the treasure they have in their hands that they discover on the island. They're still on the descendaient leurs noms, applaudissant avec ferveur. On a réussi, s'exclama Émilie, sa voix tremblante d'émotion, ses boucles brunes volaient au vent. Léonard hocha la tête, le sourire aux lèvres. C'était une sacrée aventure, ma chère. He has a very good French when it doesn't translate. Il caressa le couvert du coffre, encore émerveillé par sa découverte. Tous les dangers qu'ils avaient bravés. Théophile donna une tape amicale sur l'épaule de Léonard. On ne pouvait pas espérer un meilleur capitaine, mon vieil ami. Tu nous as amenés là à la victoire. C'est vrai, approuva Aurore de sa voix douce. Dans son courage et sa sagesse, nous ne serions pas arrivés. Léonard sentit l'émotion l'envahir. Merci à vous tous. Vous avez tous été très braves, tandis que le navire accostait la foule. Okay, so they arrive back into their place of start. So, Émilie regarde toute la foule, les acclamait sur le quai. Qui aurait cru qu'on y arriverait? Léonard hocha la tête, un sourire aux lèvres. C'était une sacrée aventure, ma chère. Il caressa le couvert du coffre encore. Émerveillé par sa découverte. So, il caressa, so that twice that we saw. Il caressa le couvercle du corps, émerveillé par sa découverte. Il caressa, émerveillé par sa découverte. Tous les dangers qu'ils avaient bravés dans cette aventure monstrueuse. Oh, we have one here that's basically some kind of repetition going on. We have a repeat. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, very similar and basically repeating. So they arrive at the port. So this one, the last one, will have to be checked because there is a few repetition going on. And it's kind of funny because it's not here in the beats. So here, I find out that when the beats make sense. There's a follow-up to the story, but when it goes to the prose with Bess, the second one, it seems like it's going back and forth and make no sense because it's not supposed to do that, not according to the beats. So when it does that, I'm leaving it. That's where the kick bashing does a really good job because most accurate will take the story and follow the beats. So I'm going to leave it finished. I'm going to copy all that and do chapter 3 again, but I'm going to use most accurate because I want it to follow those beats because these beats are in good order. So it makes no sense that here is twice at the port, twice that he carries the top of his treasure, and twice that she tap on his shoulder. So there is that doesn't make sense. That should not happen.
Could it be then, Manon, that something is wrong in the back end? Because I've seen that happen with mine in English, where the beats are okay, but then it just repeated the parts of the first two, the previous two in the next set.
Yeah, it's something in the back end which is happening, which we have no control over it, obviously. There's nothing we can do. It's the AI who decide to go in a rampage, and he doesn't follow the beats. He's repeating the beats in a nonsense. So that's when that happened, that's very important. Everyone, thumbs down. And follow the beats. The beats. Repetition is does not the AI in this prose do not follow the beats. Repetitions are happening. There we go. So I'm going to copy, and I'm going to ask for another chapter 3. I'm going to copy my piece back. And I'm going to generate with most accurate and see if it's going to follow what it's supposed to do. Le soleil couchant. There we go. Nice, giving us more details. He's on top of his boat. Les membres de l'équipe exploraient suivant de près, portant la fierté. Nous l'avons fait, s'exclama Émilie. En effet, répondit Léonard. La foule en liesse les accueillait chaleureusement, les acclamant, les félicitant de leur exploit. So he's on the boat, he's arriving to his place. The people are like screaming there. Bravo, capitaine, et bravo à vous tous. Léonard hocha la tête en direction de Théophile Marchand, qui portait sur ses épaules larges un coffret recouvert de poussière et de toiles d'araignée. OK. Théo, tu as été un véritable pilier tout au long de cette aventure. Regardez ça, Aurore, dit Maximilien Lambert d'une voix tremblante et d'émotion. Oui, c'est incroyable, répondit Aurore Lacroix en regardant brillant l'étonnant. Léonard observa ses compagnons d'aventure touchés par leur dévouement sur leur visage. Je suis tellement fier de vous tous, songea-t-il, en serrant la main de chacun d'eux. Nous allons écrire notre propre histoire, une histoire qui restera gravée pour toujours dans nos mémoires et celle de tous ceux qui entreront parler de notre incroyable aventure. Allez, mes amis, lança Léonard avec ses bras au ciel, célébrons notre victoire et honorons les êtres bienveillants qui nous ont aidés tout au long de notre périple sur l'île mystérieuse. À bord du navire, les rires et les applaudissements de la foule formèrent une mélodie joyeuse et perçant l'air marin. Regardez-nous tous, déclara-t-il d'un sourire chaleureux illuminant son visage buriné. Nous avons tellement grandi et évolué au cours de cette aventure, mes amis. Et nous sommes fiers de toi, Léonard. Pour célébrer notre victoire, annonça-t-il en levant les mains pour attirer l'attention de la foule, nous allons organiser une grande fête ce soir. So they're doing a big, big party. Les acclamations redoublèrent tandis que les membres de l'équipage s'affairaient à préparer les festivités. « Émilie, tu te souviens de notre première rencontre sur cette île? » demanda-t-il à Léonard, en tournant vers la jeune femme. « Tu étais si audacieuse et insouciante, et maintenant, regarde-toi, tu es devenue une véritable leader. » He's using an English word here. « Grâce à toi, Léonard, répondit Émilie, les yeux humides de gratitude. Et toi, Théo, reprit Léonard, s'adressant à l'ancien soldat, tu as toujours été là pour nous protéger. Mais dans les moments les plus difficiles, ton courage est inégalable. » So he's telling everyone he's happy of what they did during the adventure, giving them all their praise. Allez, mes amis, lança Léonard, enthousiaste. This far he hasn't jumped left and right. He's very consistent. So most accurate is doing a much better job. So now it's night, they left the boat, or they're still on the boat? They're doing the party on the boat. Il y a des torches embrassent les visages des explorateurs réunis autour d'eux, fraîchement décorés. Mes amis commencent à mêler en levant son verre. L'un de mes moments préférés fut lorsque nous avons découvert cette grotte secrète. So they replay the whole adventure, telling what happened. Pourtant, ma peur, intervint Théophile, c'est notre rencontre avec cette tribu isolée qui m'a plu le plus marqué. Ça a été touché par l'hospitalité de cette sagesse et cela a rappelé l'importance de l'entraide et la solidarité. Je suis d'accord avec Essor et je pense que notre traversée de la forêt enchantée restera gravée dans nos mémoires. Ah oui, quelle aventure, s'exclama Maximilien. Je dois avouer que j'ai particulièrement apprécié lorsque nous avons déjoué les pièges du temple ancien. Les opérateurs trinquèrent leurs verres, so they relay all the story as they drink around the table. That's a big party going on. Their eyes are shiny. Vous m'avez appris à faire confiance à mes instincts et à m'adapter aux situations difficiles ensemble. Nous avons affronté des dangers inoubliables et triomphé contre toute attente. Je suis honoré et fier de vous compter parmi mes amis. Un murmure d'approbation parcourut l'assemblée, tandis que les membres de l'équipage se levèrent à leur tour, leurs verres levés en signe de respect et d'amitié. À nous, les explorateurs intrépides, lança Léonard, son verre toujours levé. À nous, répondit en chœur ses amis, portés par une émotion palpable et une fierté incommensurable. La fête se poursuivit jusqu'à tard dans la nuit. So the party is going on all the way late in the night. So, les lueurs des chandelles dansaient sur les visages fatigués mais radieux des explorateurs, tandis que la fête battait son plein. Léonard Dubois observa les compagnons avec tendresse et fierté, songeant à tous les défis. Mes amis, comment-ils en souriant chaleureusement? J'ai apporté quelque chose pour chacun de vous. So he has a gift for everyone. Trouvé sur l'île, mais présentement notre amitié, notre gratitude mutuelle. Il se dirigea vers le coffre en bois richement orné qui avait été placé à côté de la table du banquet, une sortie série de petits paquets soigneusement emballés. Pour toi, Émilie, dit-il en tendant un paquet à la jeune femme, un bracelet aux couleurs vives, rappelant ton audace et ta vivacité d'esprit. Émilie ouvrit le petit paquet avec une émotion, admira le bracelet à perles multicolores qui l'enroulaient. Pour que je trouve toujours ton chemin, où que tu sois, murmura-t-elle, les yeux brillants. Théophile, mon cher ami, continua Léonard, tandis qu'il pendait son paquet robuste à l'ancien soldat. Voici un médaillon en forme de bouclier, symbole de ta force et de ta loyauté. Wow, this is a very interesting ending. He's giving a gift for every one of them, which represent their part in the story. Pensa Maximilien, mon ami, voici une bague gravée d'une rose des vents, pour t'aider à toujours trouver ta voie et rappeler notre amitié. Je suis honoré, Léonard, dit Maximilien, les yeux humides. Il tendit une carte détaillée de l'île mystérieuse, soigneusement encadrée, pour ne jamais oublier d'où nous venons et ce que nous avons accompli ensemble. So, the cartographic man did a big map and gave it back to Léonard. Alors que les explorateurs admiraient leur présent et se remémoraient les moments difficiles qu'ils ont traversés ensemble. Nous avons surmonté des obstacles, songea Léonard. Et au bout du compte, c'est notre amitié et qui est notre véritable trésor. Après avoir échangé les cadeaux symboliques, Léonard Dupuis guida l'équipe d'explorateurs vers la pièce maîtresse de leur aventure, le trésor inestimable qu'ils avaient découvert sur l'île alors qu'ils entraient dans la salle, les yeux s'écarquillèrent devant l'éclat des pierres précieuses et des objets d'or qui étincelaient la lumière tamisée des chandelles. Regardez tout cela, murmura Émilie, s'avançant lentement vers le trésor. C'est incroyable de penser que ce que nous avons traversé pour l'obtenir. En effet, répondit Théophile. Les dangers auxquels nous avons été confrontés étaient sans précédent. Léonard caressa doucement le collier de perles fini et exquis. Oh, oui, avec des stars. Tant d'épreuves, tant de sacrifices, et pourtant nous sommes ici victorieux, pensa-t-il. Amis, je pense qu'il est temps de discuter de la manière dont nous allons utiliser ces richesses pour le bien de notre peuple et pour perpétuer le souvenir de notre aventure. Qu'en dites-vous? Je suis d'accord. Et nous pourrions également soutenir les orphelinats. So they actually thinking all together how they're going to split the treasure to help the people, the peuple. Ah oui, c'est peuple en français. C'est le peuple. C'est la même chose.
Sorry, what word were you saying?
He says he's going to share the treasure with everyone in his city or wherever they're living. He says, en français, on va partager avec le peuple. So they're going to share with the people.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like they have orphelinat. And going to help the children. So they're not, they're going to share the treasure. They have their own treasure, and then they're going to help everyone else on where they are. And they have that story of the island. He's thanking everyone, and it's still going. We have 2,560 words of most accurate. He's on beat 11 and 12. So it's a nice end. It's everyone beside the one who didn't make it are back home. They're doing a big party. They share the treasure, making everyone happy as far as I can see. I mean, that would be a nice story for mid-school, I think. Because it's adventure. I don't think there's sex in there, which should be all right. And everything finished pretty good. So it's a good story for mid-school to young adult. But we have a much better ending of that chapter with most accurate that we got with Best Prose. Best Prose just went off rail. So we had a story from start to finish. Any question during his finishing?
I do have a good question. When it comes to the outline or the synopsis, when you're creating the story, especially with Sudo, is there like a particular plugin that you tend to lean on to make like maybe your outline or your synopsis stronger?
To do it longer, yeah, there is.
I mean, stronger, like to make the story more stronger and have a little bit more like kick.
Yeah, more like depending of what you want to do in your story. Obviously, you can always change your synopsis. You can change anything in your story, but make sure that if you go into the synopsis is taken from the brainstorm. So if you go in your brainstorm and you says at the stop here, it's we have the whole thing, but you can tell in brainstorm, I want adventure, I want twists, I want whatever you want more in your story, more action, put it here in bracket into your brainstorm.
Okay.
It will be a very, very fast to go. It says, okay, I like the brainstorm, but I need more action, because you're going to realize, okay, it's not enough action, but I like the story, but I don't know what action to bring in. So put it on top, says, please write more action. So just put in bracket, more action, more twist, more mystery, finish on a cliffhanger. Put that here in the brackets.
Are you saying put it in brain dump, or should we also put it in the beats too, or no? It's just put it in the brain dump.
Right now we're just talking about the synopsis and our outline.
Oh, okay.
So, and because the synopsis take it from the brainstorm, you have to put it in your brainstorm that you want more adventure.
Oh,
Just go
that
beside
makes sense.
in the brackets. So more adventure, twist, You can put in French or in English, it's up to you. Cliffhanger. Just tell it what you want, put in bracket in brainstorm, and always go into your this here to know where the information comes from. If you want the information to follow the story, make sure you get the information that you need. So in the synopsis is taking it from brainstorm. So if you want your synopsis to include what you want more in the story, it has to be in the brainstorm. And if you put it in bracket, it'll know this is something that you tell the AI, I want that in the story. So if I was to go right now and says, okay, I add this, and we know our outline, our synopsis here, that it's talking about everything we read it before. But if I go and I go regenerate again, the AI is busy. Oh, it's not finished writing. Okay, so I did put the information that I want more. So my synopsis will be different. Si l'aventurier audacieux célèbre pour ses voyages à travers le monde souffrait d'une profonde mélancolie intérieure. So in the first place, they didn't told us about, it was softer. So it goes right away that is audacieux. Une fois sur l'île, l'aventurier et son équipe découvrirent des paysages enchanteurs, soupçonnés comme des créatures hostiles. So see that it starts to get more. They find the old grotto. You know, there's a big treasure. Au profond de la caverne, les aventuriers dû affronter des créatures maléfiques. So in the first synopsis we got was a bit different, was not as strong. So if you remember what we had in the first place. It's a bit stronger, not crazy, but a bit stronger. So again, in our synopsis, because now we say we want our character, I will not do the character too much change at that point, but you know, if you put it, all the information from the top already, so what I put down here, that I want more adventure, more twists, I could put, I could even say I want the language to be more cru or strong, or you put it there. We never asked, you see, we did the whole story basically from start to finish, and we never put anything in our style. So the style sometimes doesn't really do much for the story, because we got a pretty good story no matter what we did. The style is empty. Nobody realized that, huh?
That's very interesting, Manon. That I didn't even think of that. That's what you don't really need the style. I guess the style maybe is more for the, like, if you want dialogue or whatever,
Yeah,
point of view.
those little brackets on top do very big difference, because that's where you can change the point of view. And that's one thing that I did. I did made a program that changed the point of view in a chapter to see the point of view from different people. There is a plugin that I made for that. So you see that our story changed a little bit. So if I was to go and ask for another outline, it will change and put more action and twist and everything at the end of every of them in the outline. It will change, and we put a cliffhanger. So just to make sure we have the cliffhanger there. Write everything in French. Where's my little sentence here? There we go. Just for see if it's going to do it. It's supposed to, but I can be wrong. Sometimes you might decide it's not going to do it. So write all output in French. So if I was to redo an outline, what would we be doing? So we have our hero's journey. See if it's going to do it. Chapter 1, le monde ordinaire. Léonard Dubois, un célèbre légendaire, se présente dans son manoir en France. So we have more detail now. He's in France. Malgré sa renommée et sa fortune, Léonard souffre d'une profonde mélancolie that we know. Planifie une nouvelle expédition. Des artefacts trouvés précédemment. So they had this part here. So he's going to a new adventure, but he's using things from this past adventure here. So that's new. It wasn't in our first story and I cannot stop it. They say I have to cancel, or there's no pause in this outline. So Maximien l'aide dans ses recherches et partage des moments de complicité. Cependant, Léonard reste insatisfait, cherchant un défi qui comblera son vide intérieur. See that the outline is different because now he's trying to put these little things that we asked. We asked for twist, more adventure, and we asked for cliffhanger. So he's putting some twists, questioning the personages, questioning themselves. So it's a different outline. They're still meeting that mentor, but in chapter 5, not chapter 7. And he's giving them a magic stick. So here's another twist that we don't have before. So you see the difference I'm talking about by just putting this in bracket? Okay. You must be very, very intensely reading. Any more question? Anything else we can check for you?
There's so much plugin. You said that you made a plugin where it changes the POV of a character. What exactly is that name of the plugin that you made?
Just hold on, I'm
I'd
going
love to try that.
He hasn't finished. We have a little bug. He finished at chapter 9 without finishing. And what I don't like, I'm going to tell them there's a bug here. Sorry. Did not finish. I'm going to give them the example. Submit. So let's see if my plugin, where is it? It's called POV. Now when I get all my stuff in here, where is it? Experience, roundup, chapter information, character information, scrivener, story, timeline, bridge. That one is a good one, by the way. It's not in French yet. I'm going to have to translate it. When you get between two parts, you know, sometimes when you have story engine or Bible is doing a story and it's too fast, like there's something missing, a small paragraph or a part of the story is missing, you can use that bridge. All you have to do is to copy the part where it says between the two, there's something missing. And on top, you put chapter 1, and where you want the insertion of the new bridge or the new part which makes sense to the story, you put chapter 2. Highlight everything, and you go and ask for the bridge to be done. And it's going to build a bridge to make sense to the story. Why? So it doesn't jump as fast between two scenes. So that's a very good one that I made. I really love it. I use it quite often. I think Dion, or no, Chris use it too.
Yeah, it worked. It worked very well. That was really good. I'm going to use it again.
Yeah. All right. The plugin for the POV is not here. I'm going to go get it. So, multiple POV. Where are you?
Yes, quite a bit of plugins and which is really good.
Yeah, if someone needs plugin and they know what they want, they can grab me into
Multi POV. Okay, that's it.
so it's supposed to be in there, but it's only in English right now. I would have to translate in French. So let's see if we get one of the story. Harvest of the Shadow, Nightmare Panic.
Put it on my notepads to try.
So let's see. Fletcher Sparkling's First Snow by Children. So that's story. Adventure of Loyalty. So that's every Fletcher, Blake Anderson, Cassidy. So we have a few personages here. We have chapter 1. So every Fletcher, Vibrant Blue Eyes. So we have a bit of conversation. So here how it works. We don't have the whole story in our mind, but it's going to show you the POV inside. We have just to show you how it works so you can play with it if you want. Because as long as the plugins are free, by the way, use a plugin during they are free, because after that the words will be counting.
Yeah, I'm utilizing as much as I can.
So let's find my POV, multiple POV. Click. So I highlight everything and I ask to do multiple POV. Ah, that's a Christmas story. So, okay, every Fletcher, vibrant blue eyes, sparkle with snow in the winter, survey, cozy living room, da 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 da. Waves, as every the holiday tune. Samantha, Sam Simpson arrive in a small town. Sam wave blonde hair, da da da. Here, there, hey there, every. So you see, at the start, it starts with, we're talking about Avery Fletcher. That's his POV of what he's seeing. And as Avery says, okay, he's humming that melody and all that, the decoration, and Samantha, Sam Stimson arrive in a small town. So we're changing POV. He's doing the decoration, she's arriving, and then she's the one who's talking to Avery. Sam called out and embracing her old friend tightly. Avery grinned widely, feeling overwhelmed sense of joy and Sam's arrival. Sam, you haven't changed a bit. Meanwhile, Peter Collin entered the house. So you see, it's changing POV. It's from one scene to the next. Is good. Now is the POV of Peter coming in. Tall frame, broad shoulder, filling the doorway. His dark brown hair was cropped short, and his warm brown eyes held sense of determination. Hug, depending on their presence. Good to see you, Avery, Peter said, with a friendly pat on her back. This is going to be a great night. Avery nodded enthusiastically, apparenting Peter unwavering support. Could agree more, Peter. So Olivia Martinez arrived last, but certainly not least. So now we have her point of view. I believe that's what it is. Her fair red hair, she carried herself with grace, movement proposed and elegant. She agreed. She greeted her friend with warm arm. Was evident for the years serving. Olivia, you look amazing. Every gush, her excited, bullish, bubbling ever over the took. Thank you, Avery, Olivia replied. So do you see the POV? That's the first chapter. Obviously, it's not because they're all arriving to their friend, but you can see from one POV, they're arriving in the house and they see their friend. It's depending on your story, but it's just a small POV, change of POV, point of view during the scene. Does that make sense? It's going to make more sense for you guys when you use your story and you know your story, because I know that my story here is on the point of view of only one character, and it's the first one on top there, Avery. That's the point of view, and the whole story is from him. And here they're changing the point of view by people arriving into the house. That answer your question for the POV?
Yes. Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. We've been over 2 hours and 15 minutes together, guys. It's kind of lunchtime over here. I'm going to be here again next week at the same time. You can bring your story, you can bring your question, and we can go deeper. You can even bring me idea on plugin you like to have to help you to write your story.
Awesome.
And if
This has been very good. I mean, I'm not, I don't speak French at all, but this is very, I did learn a bit, actually a lot, because there are some things that I'm going to utilize in my story what I'm right now.
Yeah, I'm glad. If you go into the Discord, my name in Discord is Fire Art.
By art.
That one here, Fire Heart with the little face, and
That's good to know. I've seen that name, but I didn't know who it was.
By a heart.
Yeah.
it's one of my pen name.
But thanks, Manon. This was great because as Jen said, I mean, my French is really bad. My Spanish is much better. But I learned so much just from watching you do these beats, especially in French.
Yeah, basically for you here, the output, you have to put down Spanish.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
even more, you have to tell him which one you want, the American Spanish, the true Spanish, the old
Yeah.
Spanish. Be precise in what you want in the Spanish language. And even as you go through your beats, and it's a different personage which talking, you can give them a different speech, a different Spanish language. One can be coming from old Spanish and the other one can be an American Spanish. Change into your story. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you on board. So
Thank you so much. This is a great session, Manon. I learned a lot.
Yeah, this is really, really,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And I don't even speak French.
Well, it was worth it just for that method, like use the writing method. That was
Yeah,
great.
that. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
That's a game changer, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll be using that.
let me know how that goes. Tell me about your story. Any question, find me in Discord or in Slack, and I'll be happy to give you just put at my name. So because it's not easy to navigate the Discord if you don't put at my name, it doesn't, I won't be able to find your question unless you go into the international bracket, which I visit a couple of times a day to make sure I answer people that question. So you know what the international bracket is? That one here. International French, it's ours. So you bring a question in there. Can you see my screen or do I have to?
No, you're sharing Sudowrite still.
I'm going to share the right one. Sorry about that. All right. Let's close this. Let's move that a bit. Obviously, it's very hard to move things with this on top. So do you see here that
Okay, yeah.
it's me right here, Fireheart.
Fireheart.
And that's where I'm going to put the video when I'm finished. So all the video that we did in the past, they're all in here into the French section. We are very lucky for that because we don't have much restriction because we are a small team, just us. And then we're growing up though, we're growing. People are getting more and more into the language of using Sudowrite in different language, which is great. All right, so until next week, ladies.
Have a good, yeah, thanks, Manon. Have a good one.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Take
Bye,
care.
Manon. Bye, Jen. Bye, Dion.
Bye, Chris. Bye,
Bye.
Dion. Bye, Hanan.
See you guys soon. Thanks again,
Yes.
Manon.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Bye.
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 Woke up this morning, the sky was gray. Another storm, another endless day. Thought I was drowning in the deep, but something in me refused to sleep. Every tear, every fear made me stronger, brought me here. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battleground. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. Mountains high and valleys low. Every turn, a path I didn't know. Lost my way, but found my stride. With every setback, I grew inside. Every scar, every pain built the warrior in my veins. In my veins, I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. darkest and it feels like all is lost, remember why you started, push through, no matter the cost. I'm rising up, can't hold me down, breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend, I'll stand tall until the end. When the night is darkest and it feels like all is lost, remember why you started, push through no matter the cost. Woke this morning, the sky was clear, every storm